Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the loops in fundamental of programming using C. So whenever you talk about the loops, you must need to understand in which situation which loop is used and how many types of loops available in C language. So very simple. Basically, there are three types of loops in any programming language. Three types of loops in programming. Which kind of loops? The one you can say the loop with the fixed iteration. The loop with the fixed iteration. How many times you want to run? If you knows that I want to run for the 10 times, at that time in fixed iteration you can use for loop. One another types of loop is in which you know the termination condition. It means the termination condition is known to you. And whenever the termination condition is known at that particular time, you can use the loop, and that type of loop is known as a while. And sometimes we people believe that I want to first taste, right? First taste, and then based on termination condition, I want to test the loop, right? So at least once. So you want to first taste for once. So at least once I want to execute the loop, and then I want to check for the termination condition, and after if you are using, so that kind of loop is known as a do while loop, right? So basically you can say that there are three types of loop. The for loop you can say it's a fixed iteration. While loop, that is when the termination condition is known, the people are using the while loop. And the first taste for once, and then based on the termination condition, the people are using the do while loop. These are the three types of loop. Now, I want to start with the for loop first. So must you need to understand the syntax. So what is the syntax for loop? So very simple. For, then here in for you can define the initialization. After that, you can write the semicolon. So it's a one part. You can say it's a first part. So here I'm mentioning it's a part one. After initialization, here you can write the condition. Condition means it's a relational condition. You can write here like a less than b, b less than a less than 10, a greater than 10, a greater than 10, and a less than 20. It means multiple condition with the logical operators you can mention over here. So this is known as a part number 2. Here you can write the part number 3. It is known as a increment decrement. So this is also we discuss in the operator that we can define the increment decrement. So you can say that it's a part number 3. One of the good thing about this all parts are what? Suppose if you think that sir I want to give the multiple initialization, you can write by separating the comma. Suppose if you think that sir I want to give the multiple condition, then you can use the double ampersand or symbol. It means you can use the logical operator for the multiple conditions. Suppose if you think that sir I want to pass the multiple increment decrement, then also you can do the same thing. How? Suppose if you want to do increment decrement, then you can write the multiple increment decrement by separating the comma. And part 4 is known as a statements. Here you can write the statements, you can say processing statements, the logic. So this portion is known as a part number 4. In part number 4, you can say this is the while for loop is coming. Right? One of the good thing is what? Whenever you talk about the loop, it means it's a continuous performing the same task. So it's a part 4. After part 4, it will execute the part 3. So what is the sequence? Part 1 first, then part 2 first after this, then after this it will execute the part 4. So you need to understand like this. It will execute the part 1, after that part 2, then part 4. After part 4, it will execute the part 3. It means it will do increment and decrement. And after this, it will check the part 2 again. If part 2 satisfy the condition. So remember, after part 4, it will go into part 3. After part 3, it will go into part 2. Part 2 is condition. So if condition is satisfied, it means if condition is still true, then it will go again into part 4. So it will be repeated 1 2 4 3 2 4 3 2 4 3 2 4 3 2 4. So this will be repeated up to which condition? Until and unless you can say your condition is true. So it will execute part 4, that is statement. After that, it will do increment decrement. If after doing the increment decrement, if the condition is still satisfied, then it will execute part 4 again. Again it will increment decrement. And if the condition is still satisfied, then it will again execute the part 4. And last, you can say after the for loop, there is a, for example, part 5. Then you can say that this will be continue. This will be continue until the part 2 condition is true. If the condition is false, then at last your part 5 will be executed. So here you just need to understand that for loop executes only once. It means only once. It executes part 1 only once. It means it did the initialization. It did the initialization only once. After initialization, it is checking for the condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute the body part. After that, it will increment decrement, and then it will check for the condition again. If the condition is again true, then it will execute the part 4 again. After this, it will do the increment decrement. If the condition is false, then it will break the loop, and after the loop, it will execute the rest part after the loop. So this is the sequence, right? You can say this is the syntax, right? Now I want to test how we can write the loop. Simple. Suppose I am writing here 4. Right, now I'm declaring a variable integer I is equal to, for example, 100. Now I'm writing that is integer I. Now here you can initialize also, for example, I is equal to 100. Now I'm writing I less than 110. Is I is less than 110? Yes, I is less than 110. Now you can write I plus plus. Suppose if for loop have only one statement, then no need to write the curly braces. If you have more than one statement, then you can write the curly braces. Now suppose if I am printing percentage %d, and if I am spacing, and if I am printing the I, then what it will do? It will print the each number, right? And here you will get the number from 100 to 109. Here you can see that. See, the number from 100 to 109 is displayed. It means my this particular loop is run for 10 times. If you count, see what happened. Part 1. So which is your part 1? Part 1 is this. That is, you can say part 1 I equal to 100. Then it will run the part 2. It means is 100 is less than 110. Yes, 100 is less than 110. Then it will go into part 4. If you consider this as a part 3, if you consider this as a part 3, then your part 3 will not be executed directly. First it will run part 1, then part 2, then your part 4 will run. So it will print 100 over here. Once 100 is printed, then it will go into increment decrement. So your I plus plus, it means 100 plus 1, it will be 101. So is 101 is less than 110? Yes. So it will be continue. So it will continue 432, 432, 432, 432, 432 statement until which? Till which time? So P4, now suppose if it becomes 108, so it will become the 109 after increment. Is 109 is less than 110? Yes. So it will come here and print the 109. Now it will be 110. Is 110 is less than 110? No. So condition is wrong. And after the condition is wrong, it will print the statement after loop. Right? So I'm just printing here after loop. So you people will get the better idea that this is the loop. So you can print the message over here, that is a slash n before loop. So now you will get the idea that it will print that what is the before loop and what is the after loop. So loop is running here 10 times. Here my iteration is fixed. And whenever you know your iteration, it means that whenever you know your steps, that I want to run it for 10 times, you can write like this. See, before loop is running one time, so I'm getting message one time only. Here you can say that the after loop is one time, but in this particular loop, I'm getting the different numbers. So you can print the series based on this. Not only this, suppose if you think that, sir, I want to make the changes into increment decrement. Can I? Yes, you can. Suppose if you write here I plus equal to 2. It means now my steps are not 1 1, but my step will be 2 2. So I will get all the even numbers over here, not because of plus 2, but because of starting from 100. So I'm getting 100, 102, 104, 106, and 108. But if you are starting from 101, then you will get the odd numbers. Why? Because I'm starting from 101, so it will starting from 101, 103, 105, 107, and 109. Sometimes what happens, even you can write the code that I want to get the number from the user and I want to print the odd numbers between these two, begin and end. So here you can print that enter starting and ending number. So I want to print the series between the starting and ending number. So here you can get the two numbers. One is S and another one is E. So S for start and E for ending. So whenever where you want to start and where you want to end, that you can mention over here. So I equal to S and I less than E. Now what happened? It will start from the number given and it will end with the number, that is E. Instead of plus plus, I plus equal to 2, you can write plus plus. So you people will get the better idea that it will ask the number. Now suppose if I enter that I want the number between 41 and 50, then I need to pass the two numbers 41 and 50. It will display the numbers. Now what I will see, I equal to S, I less than E. So 41 less than 50, I plus plus. What happened in this particular case? I did the mistakes is what? I need to write here ampersand S, ampersand E. So my loop is correct. I just need to write here starting and ending number. So once you get the starting and ending number, for example, 41 and 50, you will get the numbers between 41 and 50. You are writing less than, and that is the reason why you are not getting the 50 number. Suppose if you are writing here less than or equal to E, then you will get all the numbers starting up to ending. For example, if I am writing 101, 110, then I will get the number between 101 and 110. So this is what the for loop is. Sometimes what happens, people says that, sir, I want to get the numbers in reverse. How can I? So you just need to change the sequence. That is what, instead of I equal to S, you can start from end. Instead of less than or equal to E, you can write greater than or equal to S. It means until my I is greater than or equal to start. So you can get the two numbers starting and ending. Instead of plus plus, you can go backward also. So now this for loop will print the numbers from backward also. For example, if I'm writing 100 and 110, then the number will be displayed from 110 to 100, right? So you can go back into the loop like this. You can just change the sequence, start from end and stop up to start number, and you can detect the number one by one. Sometimes what happens, people says that, sir, whatever I give number, for example, if I pass the number that is 150 and 120, so I want the reverse number between 150 and 120, right? So what I did the mistake over here, I passed the number that is the starting number is bigger than the ending number. So my condition will be wrong in this particular case, right? So here you can give the proper message to the user that your starting number must be less than the ending number, right? If the starting number is less than the ending number, then I don't want to do this. Then what we can do in this particular case, we can simply before the loop, we can write one condition. Starting number is less than ending number. It means if the starting number less than or equal to ending number, it might be a chance both are same. If starting number and ending number both are same, then do this. If starting number and ending number not same, then print the message starting number must be less than or equal ending number. So now you can test your program. Suppose if I'm passing 150 and 120, it will give me a message. See, starting number must be less than or equal to ending number. Now suppose if I'm running and if I'm passing 120 and 150, then I will get all the numbers in reverse. But sometimes what happens, people says that, sir, I want the number from 150 to 120 and which are divisible by 5. So I want the number like 150, 145, 140, 135, 130, 125, 120. So I want the number which is divisible by 5. So you can write the condition over here. If I modulo 5 equal 0, then and then print the number. So you will get the number which is divisible by 5 only. So now suppose if I am entering the starting and ending number, suppose 150 and 120, then I will get the message that starting number must be less than ending number. So I'm writing the starting number 120, ending number 150, then I will get all the numbers between 150 to 120 which are divisible by 5, right? So here you can write the condition that I want the even number between the series, I want the odd number between the series, then you can do like this. Some people says that, sir, I want to print the characters. Can I? Yes, you can. For example, let me save demo 17. Now, I don't want to get the starting and ending number. I don't want to print this particular message. I just want to print the alphabets. That is, from I want to print the small a to z. How we can do this? Simple. See, here, instead of I equal to and, you can write I equal to start, I less than or equal to and, I plus plus. You can print your I. Here in start and end, you can write the value, for example, 65 and end is equal to 90. So I'm starting from 65, I'm ending with the 90. So the digits are displayed over here. And we all know that the ASCII value of A to Z is from 65 to 90 if it is a capital. So if you write here percentage C, then you will print the capital ABCD over here, that is capital A to Z will be print. So if you are using percentage C, then you will get the capital A to Z. One of the good thing is what? Suppose if you think that, sir, I want to display the same series in reverse, can I? Yes. Instead of start, you can start with the and. You can write up to greater than or equal to start I minus minus. Then you will get the two different capital ABCD over here. That is A to Z in capital, A to Z in small. A to Z in capital from forward and backward you can get. Sometimes people says that, sir, I want to display one more ABCD and it is a small ABCD. Can I? Yes, you can. For example, suppose if you want to do this, then you can write one more for loop over here. You can write start with the 97 and with the 122. Right? Here you can write and with the 122 and start with the 97. Now you can check the result that there are four for loops are there. The first for loop prints the A to Z in capital, that is in forward. The second ABCD is from Z to A in backward. The third ABCD, that is in lowercase, that is from A to Z, and the fourth for loop is from Z to A in lowercase. Sometimes we want that, sir, I want to display equivalent ASCII value in front of the ABCD. Can I? Yes, you can. Let me save this particular program, demo 18.c. Now, suppose if you think that, sir, I want to display the ABCD over here, and after this, I want to write that A equal to 65, B equal to 66. Can I? Yes, you can. Percentage C equal to percentage D. You can pass I at both and you will get the result that, but I need to write here slash n. So if you write here slash n, then you will get that this is the ABCD. A equal to 65, B equal to 66, C equal to 97, D equal to 68, and all this you can get. Sometimes what happens, people say that, sir, in front of this capital A, I want to display here that is small a equal to 97. Can I? Yes, you can do with the for loop same. Slash T you can use, so it will put the tab and then you can write percentage C equal to percentage D. Now I need to manage the two different variables, right? So how we can do this? See carefully. Instead of this starting and ending 65 and 19, I'm writing here static 65 and 19. But one of the good thing is what? Here you can manage J is equal to 97. So I already mentioned you that you can manage the two different variables over here, right? So percentage C equal to percentage D, you can write J and J. So your J will be, you need to increment the value of J also. So in increment decrement, you can write J plus plus and you will get the value. I need to declare the variable J and you will be able to see that I am getting here the two different ABCD. A 65, A 97, B 98, C 99, and I'm displaying each and every letter with their ASCII value. What I did, I can write the multiple initialization statement over here. It will execute only once. I can write multiple increment decrement operator over here. In the both case, you can use the comma to separate the same. And here you can print the I and J both together. So as a result, you will get the result like this, and you will get the both the ABCD, that is in uppercase as well as in lowercase, you will get over here, and parallel you can display both, right? So this is happen and you can do. Sometimes people says that, sir, I want to use the while loop. Can I? I want to compare these two loops. So how we can compare these two loops? Let me show you over here. Suppose, see, Let me save this particular program as demo 19. Now I want to print the numbers between the two series, and that is, suppose if my starting and ending number is for example 100 and 110, then I want to compare this two loops, that is for loop, while loop, and even I want to do the same thing using, that is, a do while loop. So I want to know the difference between this through three loop, and I want to run all these loops. How we can do this? So I'm taking variable integer I. Suppose if you want to print the, for example, number that is from 100 to 110, then you can write I equal to 100, I less than or equal to 110, I plus plus, and you can simply print your I. You will get the result over here, and that will be the numbers from 100 to 110. In this particular case, you can see that what I did, I used the simple loop to print the numbers from 100 to 110. Now I want to use the while loop to do the same. How we can do this? Here in while loop, you can write I equal to 100, that you can do outside the loop. Here we also knows that the I equal to 100, it runs only once. So here outside the loop, you can write I equal to 100. Here you can write the condition I less than or equal to 110. So while my I is less than or equal to 110, I will print each and every value. So my I will be printed, and I can increment the value of I. So here you will be able to get the proper idea that there are two different loops are used, and both are giving me the same results. So you can say that, suppose if you want to run this once, at that time in a while loop, it runs only once. Here it is a condition, so definitely I written the condition. Here, after the condition is true, it executes the print statement. Yes, I did the print statement. After print, it increment the decrement, then I use the increment decrement over here. So ultimately, you will be able to see that both loops are processing the output same and producing the output same. Both loop have the same output. Suppose if you think that, sir, I want to do the same using do while, how can I? So the syntax of do while is also very simple. Here, instead of writing this, so you can do what? You can include this I equal to 100 in your do, right? So in do while, what we can do, do I equal to 100, do I equal to 100, we print the value, that is I will be printed, so 100 will be printed, and after this you can write the while condition. It means it should be run until and unless my while reaches the 110. Now I want to explain all these three loops, but here now you can check that all these three loops are giving me the results. But see what happened in this particular case. Which loop is creating the problem? Which loop is creating the problem? See, every time I am initializing the I equal to 100, right? So this loop is, this statement is creating the problem. Every time my I is equal to 100 and every time my I is less than 110, every time my I is 100 and every time my I is less than 110, so it will be goes infinitely. So I need to cut this particular statement, and you can write before do while. So very simple you need to understand is what? In for loop, you can initialize the statement inside the loop. In while and do while, we can initialize the statement outside the loop. One thing. Second thing is what? In for loop, we have no control that we can do the increment and decrement first and then we do this, right? If you want to do this, then you have to write the increment decrement over here before the printf statement. Here you have a total control. You can make the changes over here. You can write the I plus plus before the printf, right? Right now I'm writing the same statement, so you people get the same idea that all these three loops is producing the same result and producing the same output, that is from 100 to 110. Suppose if you think that, sir, I want to display all this in reverse. Can I? Yes. What we need to do in the for loop? Simple. You can start from 110. You can write the loop up to 100. Instead of plus plus, you can write minus minus. So it will be in reverse. You can check. It will be in reverse. So first for loop will be in reverse, but while loop and do while will not be in reverse. It will be forward. If you check carefully the output, what happens? See, my first loop have the 110 to 100, so it is in reverse. But these two are in the forward output. So I want this also in reverse. So you can write I equal to 110, I greater than or equal to 100, and I minus minus. Here also you can do the same. I equal to 110, I minus minus, I greater than or equal to 100. Now suppose if you write, if you compile, build and run, you will get the same output. It means my for loop, while loop and do while loop, all these three loops are producing the same result over here. But you must need to understand in which situation we can use the which loop. For loop is used whenever the iteration are fixed, whenever the steps are fixed, whenever you know that from which condition to which condition you want to run. At that time you can write the for loop. Whenever the termination condition is known, you can use the while loop. And whenever you want to test first and then you want to check the condition, at that time you can use the do while loop. Let me give you an example. For example, if the class have 40 student inside it and I want to check evaluate the each and every student, right? I know that there are 40 students present in the class, then I can use the for loop and I can evaluate each and every student one by one. But I don't know how many students are present in the class. At that time, your for loop will not work. At that time, you can write the condition. I want to run till I want to run till the I evaluate each and every students. So until and unless the class gets empty, I want to run this. At that time you can write while. And do while is like what? I want to go into the class, I want to test one students, and after that I will decide I want to continue or not. That is what the do while is. Now if you people think that, sir, I want to use the for loop and I want to use the while loop, I want to know the difference. Example is quite good, but I want to know in reality. I want to check in which situation which is the best, right? So let me give you one example. For example, I want to find it out, that is a sum of the digit in the given number, right? So how we can do this? For example, suppose I have a number, and suppose if I am asking to any student that enter any number, you can write that scanf percentage d ampersand number. Now suppose if you write that, sir, my number is 5-digit number, right? So I want to check. I want to write calculate the different sum of the digit of the given number. How we can do this, right? So we all knows that whenever you want to get the individual digit, we can get the digit by using the modulo operator. So we can write that modulo by 10, right? So I want to get the remainder is equal to number modulo by 10. So if you write here remainder equal to number modulo by 10, and if you print the remainder, then you will get the last digit. But it will give you only one digit. Definitely I need to declare the variable remainder. So you can compile this program and you can check, for example, if it is a 3-digit number, for example 145, then I will get the 5, right? Suppose if I repeat this particular thing again, right, if I repeat again, but next time what I am doing here number equal to number modulo by 10, right? Or you can say remainder equal to number modulo 10, then I'm just cutting the number. So I'm writing here number equal to number divided by 10. So my number will be divided by 10. So what happened in this particular case? My number is, for example, 145, right? My number is 145. Then I will get the two numbers 5 and 4. What happened here? My number is modulo by 10. I am getting the last number, that is 5. Now I am writing here number equal to number divided by 10. So whenever you write 145 divided by 10, you will get the 14, right? And now in 14 I am getting the modulo 10, then I will get the 4, right? So it means that if you write here, if you do like this, for example, suppose if I am doing the same thing 3 times, then I will get the 3 numbers. For example, 4 I equal to, that is for example 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. So what happened? This my loop will run for 3 times, right? 0, 1 and 2. Even you can write here for I equal to 1 and I less than or equal to 3. Then you will get the idea that this loop will run for 3 times. So whenever I write 145, I will get the 3 numbers, that is 5, 4 and 1. It is good. But what happened in this particular case? If my number is 5 digit, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it will run for only 3 times. That is 5, 4 and 3. What about the other number? So it is fixed. Here iteration are fixed. So suppose if anybody from you tell me that, sir, I want to make the sum of the digit, it might be a 3 digit, even if it is a 2 digit, then suppose if my digit are 12, then it will give me 210. It means it always run 3 times. Even if my number are 2 digit, then also it run three times. If my number are 5 digit, then also it runs 3 times. But I want that if it is a 5 digit number, then I want to run 5 times. If it is a 2 digit number, then I want to run 2 times. So in this case, you can write while the number is greater than 0, it means the termination condition says that I want to run this loop until and unless my number is bigger than the 0, right? Then you can simply do what? Remainder is equal to number modulo by 10. Definitely, we need to assign this particular number. So I'm just putting the comment over here so you can get the idea properly. Remainder equal to number modulo 10. Now here you can do that the same thing, that is number equal to number divided by 10, and you can simply print the number, that is percentage d remainder. Now in this case, if you look carefully, if it is a 5 digit number, or if it is a 3 digit number, or if it is a 2 digit number, my loop will be run exactly the number of times it is greater than the 0. So it runs 5 times over here, right? Now suppose if you think that, sir, I want to make the sum of digit, how we can do this, right? So if you want to make the sum of digit, then here you can simply write sum plus equal to remainder. So the remainder will be added to your sum variable. You can do the same thing over here. Sum plus is equal to remainder. Now, what I need to make the changes over here, that is, this is my number. So I'm writing here number, that is, for example, this is the original number. This is the original number that I'm getting from the user. Now I'm assigning to the number variable over here. So I'm writing here number variable is equal to original number. So now what happened in this particular case? My original number will be assigned to number variable, right? So this will do what? It will run for 3 times. Now I'm writing here number is equal to original number. Why I am storing the value into original number? Just because to understand the things that the number is should not be lost. See what happened, whenever you write number equal to number divided by 10, at last might be a chance your number is 0, or might be a chance after, if it is a 5-digit number, then your number will be truncated to 2-digit, right? So what I did over here, let me check. See, if I am writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I will get I want to print the sum of the number. So after this, I just want to print the sum, right? So sum using for loop. So sum of digit is equal to percentage D, and I'm printing the sum variable. Same I am printing over here, and that is a sum is equal to percentage D. And no need to print this particular statement. Now you people will get the better idea that sum using for loop and sum using while. I'm passing the same number at the same both in both the loop. See what I did. Whenever you pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your number will be passed to your original number will be stored into this number. So this for loop will run 3 times. So for loop will make the sum of last 3 digit only because it runs only 3 times. And sum using while give me that it is 27. Why? Because it makes the sum of sum. So I need to write here sum equal to 0. Right? Why sum equal to 0? Because whatever the value available in the for loop, that is added over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now see, sum using 4 is 5 plus 4, that is 9 plus 3, 12. And sum using while is 50. And you will get the accurate result every time if it is a 5-digit number or it is a 3-digit number. Suppose I am writing here 12, the sum is 3. Why? Because it is a 2-digit number, but even here the value 0 is added, right? So why? Because your for loop is run 3 times and here your while loop is run only 2 times. Suppose if you run here and if you pass here number that is, for example, 6-digit number, then it will run only 3 times. 6, 5, 4, 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15, and it will run up to you will get the 0. So this is the difference between for loop and while loop. In the situation, this is depend upon the situation. In some situation, we need the exact iteration. At that time, you can use the for loop. And whenever you don't know the number of steps, but you know the termination condition, at that time you can use the while. So that's it from my side.